Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've been live. I've been crazy busy doing, some crazy things, with teaching my own child. And it's been quite the journey. So I'm going to wait for people to hop on. I'm excited to be live. It's been like I said, a long time. But I'm excited. I've decluttered my house. I've taught my child. I'm getting really good at teaching math when I totally suck at it. And reading and writing, all kinds of stuff. But today we're going to talk about some really cool stuff. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about am I going to have an evaluation again with all this crap going on with COVID? But I just had an evaluation. And then we're going to talk about, I have some tips for you guys in reference to your IEPs, in reference to Zoom. Okay. So my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mama Rocks the IEP, and I help parents gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. So if you are new, post a 1 below. That's 1, 2. Okay. I'll give you 3 times. If you're an oldie but goodie, you guys know what to do. Post a 2 below, and all my course members, you guys know how to make people feel comfortable and ready to go. So today, we're going to start off with talking about, and I'm just going to get to it. So if you guys are watching the replay, post a 1 below if you're new, 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. I want to know that you are on here. And right after this, I'm going over to the group to do challenge number 15 because I'm kind of behind on that too, just like I'm behind on coming live here. So I apologize that, but I am excited for having decluttered my whole house. I mean, that's an accomplishment for me. But I'm giving away something really cute a friend of mine made over on the group today in the IEP challenge. I am doing a IEP challenge. Today is day 15. Hey, Tara. And I'm giving away something really cute for spring. I think it's pretty awesome. So if you guys aren't members of the Autism Mama Rocks the IEP group, head over there. I am doing a giveaway. All right, so let's first talk. I have my notes in front of me because I want to make sure I stay focused on this because it's important. All of our kids are going through possibly a difficult time with the transition between school and home. And us parents are going through a transition as well, going through the fact that our kids went from school and now they're home, and we are just obligated to teach them. Even though we're parents, we of course teach our kids all the time, but we don't really teach them at school, the school stuff that teachers teach, So figuring out what the schedule is going to be, figuring out, okay, where are they exactly? You may know, but not fully, And so it's one of those things where we're kind of struggling to acclimate ourselves to be able to accurately and positively teach our kids. And everybody I've reached out to just saying, hey, how are you? How are you doing? You doing good? They've all said they're stressed. I mean, not one person has said, oh, it's going great. Everybody has said, I'm stressed out. I'm depressed. I've got a lot of anxiety. I've stepped away from everything. I've checked out. This is what I'm hearing when I'm checking in with people that I know, that especially on my group, I check in with people all the time, and they're like, this is not working out. My child's regressing, or, I'm stressed out to the gills. I don't even know what to do next. Life is just not working out for me right now. So if you guys hear some outside noise, there's kids outside playing. So, I get it. That's why I kind of checked out. I needed kind of a breather, to be honest. I was going live like 4 or 5 times a week, and I needed to decompress, totally decluster, my house. And I feel so good. I did that whole throw away everything that I haven't used in 6 months. I feel like 100 pounds was taken off. I wish, but you know what I'm saying. So, okay. If you're joining, please post a 1 below if you're new, 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, okay? And I know it's going to take you guys a whole hot minute to say, oh, Raven's live again. I get to catch her, but I am going to kind of get back into it now. I kind of needed a breather, kind of a mind erase because of all this happening, and really getting a good schedule together for my own child and, having a planned out, reading, language arts, writing, math, all that kind of stuff. So it's been a little bit stressful for me. All right. And then I'm helping a parent plan for due process, and, I have clients that I'm dealing with. So I've got a lot on my plate. So I apologize for not going live. Please forgive me. I am going to get back to it starting this week. All right. So is my child going to have to go through an evaluation when maybe they just had one? Hi, Gladys. How are you? Welcome. Possibly. And it may be in their best interest. So just hypothetically, say you recently, before all this COVID stuff, you had an evaluation. And please tell me that you've gone through it. Okay, you need to make sure you understand the bell curve. You need to make sure you understand what the mean standard deviation means. A lot of times we'll look at a number and think that's the number of what their grade level is, and it's actually not. A lot of us look at assessments and tests as in, okay, the average score may be 300, right? And your child scored a 56, which of course they'll probably say well below average or something like that, right? Well, you want to kind of know in that assessment what the standard deviation and mean is so that you can compare that score to others. And there's a mathematical equation of figuring out how that test works and how all the numbers come about. So that's important. So make sure you read your past evaluations if you've had an evaluation in the last year. Okay? I tell my parents and I tell my group all the time, make sure you get an evaluation every year. When the school does a full and conclusive evaluation, over on, I think on my group, I have what types of evaluations you have to request. It's a lot, the biggest one, honestly, is the psychoeducational. A lot of people think that it's the psychological. The psychoeducational actually does both. It does the educational piece to the psychological. Does that make sense? So I love the psychoeducational because that one is the big kahuna. All right. And then of course you want to do your services, accommodations, speech, OT, whatever it is that you think your child may need, or if they already have it, you want to know where they are. All right. So if you've recently had one in the last year, because of all this going on, I know, especially for my child, we got out pretty much around the 23rd of March. Well, kids go back to school in August. So it's like 6 months. That's a long time. And not the school's not teaching them. All right. We're trying to pick up the slack, trying to do the best we can possibly do as parents. But we really don't know if we're helping them progress or not until an evaluation is done. Now, mind you, hopefully you guys just have, it's been some time now. You kind of have picked up, on a program or, a schedule, if you will. But, don't stress out on it. All right. Just keep that anxiety in check and make sure that you focus on doing something every day, whether that's 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. All right. I wouldn't advise over 5 hours, but make sure you're incorporating math and reading. Those are the two most important. After that, it is usually, you could say science, but in my mind, I think it's writing, those sight words, being able to know their vocabulary so that can be incorporated into not only writing, but reading. All right. You want to look at the phonics part of it. You want to look at the vocabulary, and the sight words are really big on, the fluency of the reading. And another thing that's really important is the visual. Okay, so when my daughter had a really amazing reading evaluation with Linda Mood Bell, you can look them up. They're amazing. They're like $27,000 for 12 weeks. It's insane, but the school's paying for it. But anyway, she had an evaluation with them, and they really look at imagery with reading. I had no idea. And then I put it together. Think about it. When you read a book or you listen to like Audible or whatever, you like picture what's going on and what's transpiring and what's happening, right? You try to picture the character. At least I do. I picture the characters. I picture where they are. If they're driving, I just have this picture in my head, and it helps the flow of the book, right? So the same thing when your child's reading. If they're able to form imagery in their minds, the fluency will flow. And it's so true because I've been working on it with Skylar for the past 2 weeks. And I've been telling her, start picturing what's happening. What's happening with the bunny? What is the bunny doing? What is the bunny saying? So she's picturing what the bunny is doing. I've even gotten crazy enough to like hop and do some, but that's just me, I'll do some crazy stuff like that. But just make sure that you focus on just having fun with it. But if they can have that imagery first, they'll then be able to have fluency. And to have fluency, they have to have the vocabulary. And I'm talking about reading because this is so important, guys. They have to have the vocabulary, which they have to have the sight words. And the other thing that they have to be able to do is decode those words. So once they form that imagery in their mind in reference to the book that they're reading on their grade level, then you're able to incorporate, make sure that on the side you're doing vocabulary and you're doing those sight words for their age group. And then work on decoding words, all right? For example, something. So you would cover up thing and you would have them say some. Then you'd cover up some and then you'd have them say thing. And then say, okay, put it together, And it may take a minute or two, but that's kind of decoding a word and putting it together and creating that fluency. So hopefully that makes sense. I've had a lot of issues with reading with Skylar this year, so I have mastered what it means. But anyway, whatever type of evaluation your child needs, make sure you focus on that because you're going to start formulating in your brain now. And if you guys are doing the challenge with me, even we're up to day 14, but you'll know that you should be emailing your teachers every Friday. You should be videotaping your kids every day. You should be writing notes so that everything is put together and you kind of put a summary each week together. And so when school starts, you are one step ahead of the game in regards to where your child is because it's all on video. And the reason I say that is that's your only proof. You can't, I've always said, if it's not in writing, it never happened. Well, right now, because of everything going on, they don't see your child. So if it's not on video, it never happened. And then you take that video, the notes, and you put it into an email each and every week. So that's part of what we're doing in the challenge. But as you're going through your weeks, and stressed or not, I get it, make sure you're focused on, okay, each week, where is my child? Where do I believe my child is? Are they making progress? Am I doing a good job? And working on whatever it is that they were last working on. Hopefully you guys have an idea. If not, email the teachers and find out what they were last working on in every subject. Make sure each week you're getting different things from the teachers. If you don't have mandatory online education, which a lot of schools do not. I know in Northern Virginia, we do not. There's so many kids that if they offered virtual learning, they would have to offer everything to a special needs child in regards to their IEP, and they just don't have the manpower to do that. And I get that, but it totally sucks. Hey, Michelle, how are you? So if you guys have joined, post a 1 below if you're new, post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. And if you're catching the replay, make sure to do that too. So make sure that as you're taking notes each week, hopefully, and join us on the group if you haven't. The challenge is going to help you. I can promise you that. Along with my service accommodation and modification kit, I have not forgotten. It may be a little bit late, but it's coming by the end of the month, if not the first week of May. But just focus on seeing, and just in your gut, you're going to know if another evaluation is going to need to happen to find out where your child's present levels are. Because if you don't know what your present level academic achievement and functional performance, they're not going to be able to pick up on those goals again and it be productive. You know what I mean? So if it's not, if you have goals in place right now for the IEP, which you do, how is that going to work? Just jumping into school and those goals are in play if they're not there anymore. Do you know what I mean? All right. Hey, Katie, welcome. And Matthew and Amanda and Teresa. Is it Tasia? Tasia, yeah. How are you, girl? We got to get together. All right. So here is the deal. Make sure, go with your gut. You know best. Go with your gut. If you feel that your child is going to need another evaluation, you know that now. Okay, enough time. We're a month in. You know if your child's going to need another evaluation. We have all the way till August, and that's 6 months of you doing goals. So like I've said to everybody in my challenge over in the group, which I'm going live there next, and I have a giveaway. I'm super excited about it. So I have a question for them, and if they get it, I have 2 giveaways. All right, one for a boy and one for a girl, but I guess they could go to 2 girls or 2 boys, but the colors are different. Okay, so really, in my opinion, okay, I've been a advocate with COPA and trained under rights law and COPA as well, plus a mom and dealt with this for 13 years. And I believe that that's one of the first things you should do. All right. They're going to have that 45-day gap anyway. So yes. And at that time, it's going to be, if you just had one, it would be 7.5 months. So plan and prepare to request that about 2 weeks, 3 weeks before school starts. All right. And make sure you're writing every week, and just go over to the group. You'll see the challenge. So think about evaluations, all right, as you're going through. One of the things I've been saying is make sure you go through those goals. That's what you should be teaching, and then go above and beyond if you can, and they can, and that's within their ability. Because sometimes moms and dads teaching, we actually can do it better. After, some time, we acclimate, and we can sometimes educate our kids better, even though, like myself, I am not cut out for homeschooling. Those who can homeschool, I think that is amazing and fabulous. I'm just personally not cut out for it. But because I'm having to do it, I've kind of gotten somewhat good at it. Plus, I am a teacher, but I've gotten somewhat good at it. I haven't taught in years, but I've gotten kind of back into the realm of things. And I was a teacher back in the day where SOLs, or whatever your standard and state testing's called. It's called SOLs in Virginia. I was the type of teacher where I taught hands-on. It was fun. And now it's just, let me teach you to take this test, and I hate that. It drives me nuts. But, that's what I'm doing with my daughter, is I make learning fun, because it doesn't matter how they learn. It matters that they learn it. So whatever it is that you need to do, even if it's you get on your hands and knees and you're trying to get them to say cow, or whatever it is, just make it fun and get fun and goofy, because it'll make things so much more enjoyable, and it'll take away from when I check in with you guys. I don't want to hear, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out. I have so much anxiety. I don't know what I'm doing. A lady messaged me. I messaged her, and she said stressed out. Another person said, I have a lot of anxiety and I'm going through some depression right now. It's on, and there's not a lot. I have not gotten one positive response, and I don't want you guys to be going through that. So please just, do your best. Okay. And don't let yourself get to a point of where you're not going to be able to do justice to anybody if you're stressing yourself out so much. So just do your best, and, just take it one day at a time, it's kind of like, if you don't do something right, that's part of the learning in life. So if you don't do something right on Monday, hey, guess what? You got Tuesday to try again. Okay, look at it like that. So as parents, we don't have to go into it and be perfectionists as much as we want our kids to learn. Just focus on those IEP goals, and then go above and beyond that if you can. Focus a lot on math and reading and writing. okay? Because that's going to help them in such a major way. To be quite honest, science, history, and some, other subjects that kids learn in school are not as important as math and reading. All right. I'm not saying they're not important. I'm just saying they're not as important. Okay. But work on that fluency, work on decoding, work on the phonics, work on those sight words and vocabulary, and work on the imagery. Imagery has to come first, guys. So many people learn in a different way, and a lot of reading specialists don't know how to teach special education children and special needs children because they have no idea how to effectively teach them with possible behavior issues, focus issues, OCD issues, etc. And, if you go back to dyslexia and dyspraxia, one of the first things that is learned in reading is imagery. If they can't formulate a picture, understanding and comprehension does not typically come, or it's a struggle. So they have to form imagery. They have to have vocabulary and sight words. They have to be able to decode to create that fluency. Does that make sense? All right, so focus on that for reading, for math, wherever they are, okay? What I'm doing with Skylar is I went back to the basics. I didn't care what her goals said. I went back to the basics. Addition, subtraction, multiplication. We're going into like fractions, and I'm doing that by measurement as well. So I'm putting fractions and measurement together along with cooking and cutting things and that sort of thing. That's how I do fractions. Honestly, I don't give a crap if she can write 1/2. I don't think I've written 1/2 in over 10 years. So what I want her to learn is, what is 1/2? What does that look like? Okay, if I have a measuring cup, what does, a half a cup look like? Those are the things that are important, not 1/2, you know what I mean? Or drawing a pie, I still am doing that, but I'm focusing more on the imagery part of learning. Because if you can see something and it be something that they're like, oh, the stop sign says stop, that's when I have to stop. It's red, it's white, it says stop. Okay, I get it. Because what we need to learn to do with our kids, which is not coming natural to all parents, and that's where they're saying, I'm struggling, I've got so much anxiety, I'm depressed, is focus on the visualization of something and the association of it. Then other learning comes, okay? Same thing with the math and, whether you're doing addition, subtraction. If you're doing addition, for example, just to give you some tips, start off with 1 and 1, like not 1 and 1, but like one number and then one number underneath. Okay, they got it. Okay, 2 numbers and 2 numbers underneath and addition, then 3 numbers and 3 numbers underneath, and vary those numbers. Then go to subtraction, do the same thing, and then you can start with multiplication. I ordered Skylar a multiplication table. I put it on the wall, and she does really well with that. And what it's creating is that processing, which a lot of kids with autism have trouble doing. So once she figures out, okay, and 8 times 8, I used to, this is how I learned 8 times 8. I say, 8 times 8 fell on the floor. When it came up, it was 64. Well, there's no mathematical equation in that, but it was something I remembered. So when I was in school and learning my multiplication tables, when I was able to formulate something that made sense to me, I was able to remember that equation. All right. And I have other ones that you probably would laugh at, but it's how I learned. And so that's why you have to get really creative in the math and reading aspects, because there's a lot that goes into math and there's a lot that goes into reading, and those should be your focus. And then, of course, your kids' goals, and, go above and beyond that. I'm teaching Skylar things that are not even in her IEP, but are more advanced of that because I'm working with her. I went back to the basics and she knew it. So I rushed her to, now we're at the carrying over of subtraction and multiplication. So just be easy on yourselves, okay? But as far as the tip, all right, this is Sunday's tip of the week, all right? Make sure that you focus on the fact that you're going to need, and get it into your brains, that you are going to need a new evaluation full and conclusive evaluation, specific psychoeducational. Write that down. Psychoeducational. That combines the psychological and the educational piece, okay? And then, of course, your speech, OT, PT, etc., your services. And I would also suggest getting a private, just individual reading evaluation, and make sure the type of evaluation is scientifically researched and peer-reviewed, okay? And that's it for the tip of the week as far as evaluations and going forward in your train of thought, all right? So keep pressing forward, keep staying focused, create your plan of action, create your schedule, and de-stress, okay? Like, I've checked out, as you guys probably have known. This is the first time I've gone live on this page in, I think, a week. And I apologize for that, but I needed to decompress so that I could be refreshed for you guys as well. Refreshed for me and my family, and refreshed for you guys. Because I was going live, 3, 4, 5 times a week, and I go live on the group not on here on the page. So I'm going to be going live in just a few minutes over on the group. I have a giveaway. I'm really excited about giving these away. A friend of mine made them for me and my daughter. I use them. They have adult ones. And I'm excited to give that away. So I'm doing what's called a IEP challenge because of this COVID, of how to prepare, plan and prepare to be able to be ahead of the game once school starts again, and not be stuck in that 45 days of hell of not being able to request anything. And then your IEPs are put on hold. Everything's put on hold. Then it creates frustration and you're losing your mind. All right. So watch out for my service accommodation and modifications kit coming out super soon. And I want you to join us over on the group for the challenge. Today is day 15, but you can go back and watch all the videos, and they're short. Plus, you can go onto the group under files, and I've written down each thing, okay? So you have it there as well, all right? So evaluation, focus on math and reading, and then the other things. Keep your sanity, all right? Because if your sanity is not in place and you have anxiety and depression and you're overwhelmed already, I believe, okay, my personal opinion, that when I'm stressed and I have a lot of anxiety, which I deal with anxiety anyway. So if I have that increased anxiety because of everything going on, then I do Skylar no justice. I am not teaching her well. I'm not animated. I don't keep it fun. And it's a waste. So just keep things together and, focus. Tara, hey, if you're on here, or Jesse, will you post the link to the group for me? Leah, I got you. Either way, when I get off here, I'll add the link. But Tara or Jesse, if you guys are on here, if you could please post the link for the group, for people that may want to join the group to catch me doing the challenge, that would be awesome, guys. So focus, focus, focus. Don't have so much anxiety, or try to not have so much anxiety. We're all going through a lot. And I checked out. A lot of people have checked out. I've checked on other people and they're stressed out. So I wanted to, start this. I'm refreshed, okay? So start this week refreshed and come live a couple times this week to just give you guys some good, solid, something solid to take. You can call it a tip. You can call it whatever you want. But right now, I'm not focused so much on, okay, because we can't go after the school right now and demand. I'd rather educate you right now, so when it's time to go full force, you're fully prepared. I will be opening up my course very shortly, probably in a month or so, for those of you who've asked. The doors are shut right now, but you can go onto my website at autismmamarocksiep.com, click on the educational vault, and get on the waiting list. Okay, so I will post below the group if you guys want to join me. I'm going to go live in about 5 minutes. I do have a giveaway, And today is day 15, but you can catch, the other 15 days on the video, or the 14 days on the video. And plus I have files where you can read each day. Okay. So evaluations. You have to have one when you get back, because you're not going to know your child's present levels of academic achievement and functional performance. God, that's a lot coming out of my mouth. All right. So post a 1 below if you are new, post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, even if you're catching the replay, okay? I want to get to know you, and I want you to join the group because it's a lot more personal. But if it's not for you, it's not for you. But if it is, I think that would be wonderful. All right. So, hey, Jennifer, how are you? You're 3. Okay. All right. You are so welcome, Jessie. And Tasia, thank you, girl. And Leah, I will post the link to the group right now. Okay. So real quick, I told you in my link, I would talk to you guys real quick about Zoom IEPs. So if you're having a Zoom IEP come up, this has come up with a lot of people who've asked me this question. They actually do have to show their picture. All right. A lot of people have said, hi, Shari. Is it Cherie? Sherry? Make sure that you email them ahead of time and you say that you want video. All right. Because what a lot of schools are doing is they're coming on live. Yeah, that's awesome, Leah. It's fine, Jennifer. I thought it was cool. So what I want you to do is email them ahead of time and request video, that you want video, because a lot of parents are getting on, then they're not doing video, and then they're stuck because that's the meeting. So make sure that you email ahead of time and request video. Okay. All right, guys, I will see you over in the group. If you come join us, I will accept you. I'll give it about 2 minutes. I'll post the link and I'll accept you. And then I'm going to go live in about 5 minutes. So definitely join right away. Okay. I will talk to you guys soon. I will be coming live again. I'll post about it, and tell your friends about this page in the group. I think that would be awesome, because a lot of people with children with special needs right now are really struggling. So, I always say over on my group, we're better together. The reason I do what I do is because I went through 6.5 years of hell of going through the IEP process. And to be quite honest, I'm still in the trenches with you guys, because even though Skylar's IEP is great, that doesn't mean the school adheres to it. They actually don't all the time. And I want you guys to be prepared and know exactly what to do when those things happen, and understand the whole process. Okay. So I will talk to you guys later this week. Have a wonderful week. And make sure to join the group, because that's where you can post, I'm stressed out. This is what's going on. Anybody going through this too, because you're not alone. Okay. So just know that you're not alone. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right. It didn't play my outro. All right, guys, I'm just going to have to hop off because it didn't play my outro. I'm sad. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.